Welcome to another form types and DocuSign video on show all fields functionality in DocuSign. And what show all fields functionality is, let's say user A fills out field 1, 2 and 3 and then submits it. When user B logs in, they'll be able to see what user A has entered in field 1, 2, 3 and vice versa. Obviously, if you want to uncheck this option, then what would happen is user A would fill that out, then the contract would go over to the second signee, and the second signee will not be able to see any information entered by user A. So it's a really handy functionality, and I'm going to try and display this to you in the simplest fashion possible. Let's go ahead and insert our PDF, display all fields. And I'll just use 2 fields, I actually use 4 fields, just to demonstrate my point. Let's call it text field. We'll go ahead and hide the label. Like this. And then we'll add our signatures here. Like this. Okay. And then once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add some users. So now you can do a couple of things there. You can either use private or you can use dynamic. I'm going to use private just to keep it simple. So first one is going to be Joe Blogs. Give him my personal email address. And the next one is going to be Jane Blogs, which will also have a secondary personal email address of mine. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign the users this field. So the first 2 will belong to Joe Blogs, and then the next 2 will belong to Jane Blogs. Okay, so here's what's going to happen now. So I'm going to go ahead and publish, and what's going to happen is both of these documents are going to send out independently to both of these users. So what we'll do is, first thing we'll do is we'll go to Joe Blogs first, okay? There's the email, it's come through. It said you are requested to sign the document. I will take the URL for Joe Blogs, go into incognito mode, access the document. It's going to ask me for my 2-factor authentication code, which I will add. Click confirm. And now I'm going to get myself the code required. So here's my code, 63440. And I'll confirm. Okay, so since I'm the first signee here, I can see my own details, but I can also see what the other person has entered, but the other person hasn't entered anything, so it will be blank. So what I'll do is I'll go and enter my signatures first, and then I'll just simply type Joe Blogs here, Joe Blogs, and then I'll just finish the signature. Now this has gone through, that's signee number 1, Joe Blogs. Okay, now what you'll see is signee number 2. So remember, by default, this is the functionality here, display all fields. It will be automatically checked. Okay, and then now I'm going to show you what happens with signee number 2. So here's signee number 2, Jane Blogs. We'll take the URL, incognito, we'll chuck it in there, like this, and then we'll go in there. Okay, now I'm going to get the code for Jane Blogs. There it is, 81444. Confirm, and voila, we're in. Okay, now I can see what Joe Blogs has entered, so it's really handy, and now I can just enter my details and go ahead and sign it. And this is how it's done. It's really that simple. That's what display fields means, that when signee A has entered the details, signee B can see what they've entered from signee A. And remember, to enable this functionality, let me just go ahead and finish and sign. So this has now been submitted and signed, and now obviously this functionality is how it works. So if you want to know where to enable this, it's over here, display all fields functionality. As I said, by default it will be checked, but if you don't want the other user to see what user A has entered, then uncheck it, and then that's the way to go about it. And this is how it's done.